You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach He's in Crime, Mike the man himself.
It is good to have you back.
Oh, man, it's good to be back. And alive.
I'm alive, yeah.
I'm glad I'm alive.
Yeah, you're looking good, sounding good, smelling good.
Smell good.
Yeah.
I took a shower before I came. I wanted to be fresh when I saw you. I hadn't seen you in a while, Mike.
You nailed it.
I wanted to be fresh. You
nailed it.
Had a facial done. It's just all this stuff.
I had no doubt.
Welcome, everybody. Oh, man, there it is. It's trying to sneak up on me. Thank you for hanging out with us. This is mine and Mike's 1 hour vacation of the week. This is the time that we absolutely... Oh, man, this thing went to sleep, Mike.
That's right.
I had one job, Mike.
You keep rocking it. Don't worry about it.
And so this is our 1 hour vacation. If you want to reach us a couple different ways, you can reach us on Twitter at hashtag RROR. You can also reach us at 262-345-7763. You can text that number if you have any questions or comments or just saying, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? And, of course, the quickest way, Shane, don't worry, buddy. I can actually see your comments as it happens right here on Facebook, and I'm reading it as we're talking. Is that still up and going, Mike? Do you need to do anything special? You give me two pieces of equipment, and I fail on all avenues.
We're always exploring new territories.
It is. Anytime we got new, we up and running? Man, okay. So I promise I will not let it sleep this time, Mike.
It's all good.
It's not. I'm gonna do it where I can see it. I get one job, man, and I just can't even keep that going. So we're gonna be talking about, man, our New Year's break, our Christmas break, and all the other good stuff that we got to go through. It's just the time that we had in South Florida, the time we had in South Louisiana.
You've been around a time or two. Oh. Yeah, last time we met was just before Christmas. So
yeah, before Christmas.
You muddled through? You did all right?
I did good.
Okay.
I did good. I didn't get sick until I got back, honestly. That's literally on the way home. I was like, oh, man, I just had a little bit of a fever.
Yeah.
It's coming pretty fast, and then all of a sudden, thank God we got home when we did.
I think it's the immune system. You let down a little bit at Christmas. You go, I'm going to relax.
Yeah.
The stress of the daily grind is off a little bit, and your immune system just jumps on you.
Just jump right, and it did, man. It smacked me. Hector, what up? Todd, Vadi. Hey, man, how's everybody doing tonight? So I'm sure we got our boys from Louisiana, Robert watching, and Dylan, and all those guys watching. So we're going to be talking, a lot of cool stuff that we did over in Louisiana. We're going to be talking some stuff we did in South Florida. Man, as we know, this hour absolutely goes by super fast.
See,
Mike, I will say this: now you and I did the inaugural trip for the. What's that thing called? The drone.
Oh, yes.
The drone. So I thought I would take
it. Let's rewind this.
Okay.
I know your brain is. I got so many questions to ask, but let's do chronologically.
So
because we started off the show with you did a quick FaceTime from down in South Florida.
Yes.
And you just met these guys.
So
on the water.
So that was South Florida on the water. But all I wanted to squeeze out is I kept telling you I was not going to crash my drone.
Yeah.
I still haven't crashed it.
Okay.
I just wanted to get that out. I still have not crashed that drone, but my Lord, was I close. I was what they call too close for comfort. So those boys that you saw, those young men that you strapping young lads. When I say strapping young lads, I mean these were big boys. They were corn-fed Illinoisans. And I mean, and I don't, in about 2 seconds, I'll have you go to me, and I'll give you an idea how corn-fed these boys are.
Which part of Illinois?
Argyle.
Okay.
Or Argyle.
Okay.
What's that?
They're both either cracking up right now or yelling at the screen.
It reminds me of the sweater.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course.
So if you go to my screen, you'll see me with Jason and Gary. And this is Jason's first fish, his first peacock. Now, Lisa and I went down to Lake Ida in Miami, and we wanted to catch a clown knifefish, and of course, whatever was biting. And we got a ton of good reports that it was awesome down there. You know, it was just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. So I was like, you know, sweetie, let's go down there. Let's just tear these fish up, you know, because her and I hadn't caught fish in a while. We just been so busy on the new property and the studio and trying to get things ready. So we decided, you know, let's go to Miami. So we did. So we see these guys fishing. We kind of said, hey, how are you? That kind of thing.
Sure.
And so we go do our thing. We don't catch any fish, and we bump into them again a couple hours later. And I said, look, have you guys caught anything? They were like, no, we haven't caught anything. And I'm like, well, where are they at? And they go like, we're not from here. We just came down. It's our first time here. And I said, you know what? This is my first time here on Lake Ida as well. And so we got to talking, and I said, look, you go here. And I took Gary's number, and I said, this spot I'm going to give you is a spot that, you know, was, you know, just there's peacocks everywhere. Just get over there, use this lure. So they got the heck out of the water. They took their high-dollar boat, and they got out. And they went on about their way. So, Lisa and I are getting out. Now, she was going to go get a manicure, while I said, you know what? Let's go take these guys fishing. So she was like, well, I'm going to get a manicure, you know, because we were going to meet up with some good friends later.
Yeah.
And so she saw the excitement in my face, and she was like, there's no way I'm going to miss this. You know me when I get wound up with a couple fellas, you know, and I get excited about that.
That's the joy. That is
Absolutely.
the joy.
She saw that. She even told me, she goes, I see that excitement in your face. She says, I don't want to miss it. You know, I don't want to miss what's about to go down.
Yeah.
And she was certainly glad she didn't. And I'll just thumb through these pictures here. You know, here's, as you can see, this just Lisa and I. Lisa just tore up the absolute peacocks. Gary tore them up. I gave Gary one of my Yozuri lures, and I said, dude, just trust me. When you throw this thing out there, you are absolutely going to love it. So he's throwing this thing out constantly, and he is just piling up these fish. And I mean, we are just absolutely slamming these fish, just one after another. We are just absolutely having a blast with these things. And he says, I love this lure. So at the end, he was like, here, man, you want your lure back? I said, heck no, you take that to Illinois with you, or wherever you're from, Iowa, something with an I in it, Indiana, one of them into something. And I said, just take that with you, man, and absolutely. Look at that. That's the big fat. Oh, it's a little kiss there. And this was just one after. Here's a great shot. So these guys had a blast. I mean, they absolutely had a blast. And it was the highlight of their trip, man. I mean, I don't know. They caught a ton of fish afterwards. I don't know if it was a total highlight of their trip, but I'm pretty confident, you know, anytime you can come down to Florida and catch a peacock bass, it is just absolutely worth its weight in gold.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, they had a blast. So, we got us a trip to go smallmouth fishing. You know how I've been wanting smallmouth fishing.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to keep, you know, we got mine and Lisa's 50th birthday this year, so we got a lot to squeeze in this year. So, we got some exciting stuff coming up this year. We don't even know what we got coming up. That's great. You know, we got the property, we got the new studio we're trying to finish up, so we've got a handful of stuff coming this year. So, you know, so we went up and met with a bunch of friends. Now, we met, Lisa introduced me to her, you know, friends that she's had for years. John and Kelly and Jason and Jessica. And so we said, look, you know, while we're in Miami, let's have dinner. So John was like, dinner? Heck, come to the house. I'll get some stone crab.
They live in the White House, it looks like.
Oh, dude, this house is amazing. Now, it was tore up in the hurricanes. The last time we saw them was right before the hurricanes. And, you know, when Hurricane, whatever that was, Irma came through. Yeah. And, man, it really tore their house up.
Wow.
So they had a lot of work to do. They put in a lot of elbow grease, and they got it, you know, shaped back up. Actually, they had just got one of their boats back. One of their other boats was still in the shop with, you know, thousands of dollars worth of damage. They just got their dock fixed. So, you know, it was just was good to see some friends.
Can you zoom in? I'd like to see that spread. What's sitting there?
Let's see here. So This spread is
yeah.
stone crab claws right there. Let me tell you what.
Oh my goodness.
That is absolutely no joke.
That's
So we got stone crab claws and tater tots. I mean,
Oh.
how fancy is that for the White House?
Shut the front door and let's eat.
That's what I'm talking. So it was just absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
It's always good to see them. I swear I don't ever remember laughing that hard when I get around John. And little John Ryan, I think he took the picture. John Ryan usually sits in that empty chair. I don't have a picture. Darn. I thought I had a picture of John Ryan, but so I mean we got to see those guys and phenomenal trip. And I'll tell you this, dude. I mean, one reason I love going to Miami is the invasive species that are down there. There's so much stuff down there, man. I'm telling you. I told Lisa while we were down there, I said, look, I want to get a picture with a huge...
I don't think they call Donald Trump an invasive species anymore, though.
That's right. He's down there. Yeah. Well, they need to. They certainly need to. But let's see. I've got a picture here. I like this going through my photo album here, man.
It makes it nice. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so it makes
we like going through your photo album, too.
Amen.
Keep it alive. Yeah.
So... here you see me with I told Lisa, I said, I want to get a picture with one of those big, beautiful male iguanas. And so this thing was up on the shore, and I threw my frog up there.
This is just cool.
And he ran after my frog, and, man, I hooked him and reeled him into the boat. And I think, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, I have a little video here that we can play. Here we go. You want to play this video?
Yep.
Can we do it from over there?
We can. Is your phone turned sideways, though?
It's like this.
Okay.
But if I turn it like that, because it was filmed like that, you want it like this?
Perfect. Yeah, it's going to have to be that way.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
Let's do it. Oh, there you go. Okay, gotcha.
All right. Show us a video, Rodney.
So, here we go.
Oh, there he is swimming. I see.
Yeah, so just before he gets to the boat, he does absolutely freak out mode. Now, I mean, you can see him just going crazy here.
Now, he's hooked at this point?
Oh, he's hooked at this point. Yeah, he's hooked. He tried to bite it, and I set the hook before he bit it. So I'm just going to – this is just about 3.5 minutes of him fighting. So I'll get to where I can just pull him out right here. And what I didn't,
he's a big boy. He's
huge, man. He measured out to be about 6 feet long. And I'll tell you what I didn't know. When I reached down to grab him behind the neck, they have these spikes right in the back of their necks, and they are sharp, man. And it was kind of difficult to hang on to him. You know, it's you know me. I got the little girl hands, a little sensitive. My hands are sensitive.
We were just talking about that.
And he had these spikes on the back of his neck, which made it hard to hold on.
Wow.
So you can see he was a little bit upset. So, and I was like, I'm getting this picture. There's just no way we're not getting this picture. So, here you can see it, just pretty much just one of those things where I was like, yeah, it's picture time. And then, of course, I left him unharmed. I tossed him into the water.
Yeah, but let me ask the innocent question then. But they're not protecting. You could have killed him, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could have hit him right over the head and threw him in the cooler. Absolutely.
And eaten him, right?
And eaten him.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
There's no protection. There's no
zero protection on this thing. The only thing they're protected against is you can't abuse them. You know what I mean? They're still animals, and you can't abuse them. So you just can't do nothing really harsh to these guys.
Sure.
Death is about as harsh as you can get. I think how you get to death is...
You got to get to the death line and then stop. You don't cross the death line.
And you can't mess with death. You can't just go in and dilly-dally with death.
That makes sense, yeah.
You got to go right in for the kill. So there's a way you got to do this, Mike. You got to rush into death.
There's rules to
There's
this
rules
death
to
thing.
killing things. There's absolutely rules. So... it was absolutely a blast. So we caught there was a monster iguana down there I wanted to get a picture with, but I was like, man, I could fool with this thing all day.
So you were pretty much iguanas and peacock bass.
Iguanas and peacock bass is what we caught down there. And,
Which
it was
made for a very colorful trip.
It did.
It really did.
It absolutely did.
Between the two of them.
It's the most peacock bass I've caught there in a single day.
That's crazy.
With this,
Temperatures were what?
temperatures were in the low 70s.
Okay.
It was really nice. Mornings were just a wee bit chilly, not cold.
Okay.
I think it made the water in Lake Ida a little bit finicky, a little bit cooler than normal,
Sure.
so I think they were not as active as I hoped they'd be. So on the places that we went to, it just kind of as the sun was going down, they just got a little more active. So if we would have stayed on Lake Ida, who knows? Maybe the fish would have got a little more active.
Sure.
Generally, peacock get more active when it's warmer outside.
Yeah, that's
So-
why I was wondering what the temperature was, but it didn't seem to be phasing them in that.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know what I did here, Mike. I got things going. Probably recording my. I shouldn't be allowed to touch electronics. I failed again.
Nope.
So, as we went to a couple spots, they got just a wee bit more active. So, and then we just caught a lot of, I was really happy to see Gary and Jason catching fish. And, of course, Lisa has been jonesing for fish, man. She was like, I need to catch fish. And I'm like, okay, well, let's get you some fish. So, when you got somebody that loves to fish like that, bro, you got to feed that beast. I'm telling you, you got to catch fish. You got to get them. So it was absolutely fun. And then we left there.
I don't care how beautiful they are; they still don't like to be called beasts.
No. The beast being the need to fish. Yeah, not the person.
Noted.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta specify which one we're talking about. So then we stopped by and saw the grandbaby for a few minutes on Christmas Day. Gave her Christmas presents. And then we, here, I'll just pop up a little picture of the grandbaby real quick, just in case you can see it.
Spin it up for me, though.
It's up there. Oh, spin it.
Sideways.
Okay. All right. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, you can see it from over there.
I got you covered.
I'll quit messing. So that's the grandbaby. That's her first Christmas. I had to get that up there.
Aw.
Look at that.
Of course you did.
It's just worth its weight in gold.
Look at that.
If you want to send money to her, just send it to me. I will see to it she gets it.
She's got her own GoFundMe.
She did. And she's all smiles all the
That's
time.
great,
She don't
Rodney.
mess around.
That's
so,
a great photo.
but and then we got home. We got up 2:00 the next morning against the principles of my girl. She said, "What time we getting up?" I said, "I thought about 2:00, 2:00ish."
Early start.
When was you going to tell me? And I said,
When we were halfway there.
I said, I didn't tell you that? I could have swore we discussed this. We did not discuss it. But she, being the trooper that she is, we got up 2:00 in the morning and started headed to Louisiana.
10-hour drive?
Yeah, it was about 10 and a
Ish.
half hours, 11-ish, because we didn't know where we were going.
Sure.
I'm like, man, I got to stop like every hour to use the restroom. It's just, I'm the worst. I'm horrible. I don't want to take me on a road trip. Don't even want to go there.
But other than that, did you beeline straight there?
Yes, we beeline straight there. We didn't drive. We didn't do anything of the sort.
Now, did you take your boat?
No, we did not
Okay.
take our boat.
See, I was totally misunderstood then. I
Yeah.
thought this whole time that we're going to talk about you, and I thought it was your boat that.
No. We went on their boats. They had plenty of boats there, and our gas mileage would have been cut in half.
Yeah, I would say that would definitely made the drive a little more.
Yeah, it'd have been stressful.
Sure.
So we didn't take our boat.
We don't need to because you went to meet.
We went to meet Robert and the gang.
Yeah.
Robert sold us the Cottonmouth boat that we have. So he
Yeah. Why would you take your own boat when you're driving to?
To a Cottonmouth guy.
Yeah.
To a guy, that's what he does. He sells these boats. Yeah. So we actually got to ride on the Cottonmouth while we were there. A different version of it, which I kind of in love with. So it was awesome.
Okay.
So we like get there like in the afternoon, like 4 or 5ish in the afternoon, and we load everything up on the boat, and we take off to God, I wish I had pictures of that. We take off to a 2-story, about a 2,000 square foot 2-story house.
Okay.
Floating on pontoons on the water.
Okay.
Hooked to a barge that had a big giant diesel generator.
This is where you stayed?
This is where we stayed, which was a friend of Robert's named Martin. Now,
Okay.
Martin is a no-joke, no-holds-barred coon-ass. Now, I can call him a coon-ass because he calls himself a coon-ass, and I wouldn't do that to his face. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed. I'm not even sure if he don't have people here waiting to punch me in the face. I don't even know how this works. I just know, he said, "You're going to tell them about the coon asses down here on, I was like, "Oh, Martin, I'm going to tell them. Don't you worry, buddy. We're going to tell them, because this is some stuff that needs to be told." So, dude, I mean, what a group of guys. I mean, just these guys just get together on this boat. It's a huge boat, and they just. And this is their thing, man. This is their thing, and for them to let us in,
that's cool.
I mean, this is kind of an end thing. This is kind of a family thing.
Yeah.
These guys are just this real tight knit, and here, I'm not from Orlando, so Dustin, the city boy thing, I kind of hurt my feelings, but that's okay. I'm not really from the city. I just happen to be in the city, so. I held my own.
Yeah.
I think I impressed them.
Fair enough.
I shot the shotgun 3 times.
No
I
doubt.
shot 3 ducks. I killed 2, and the other one just didn't know it was hit. I scared him a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. So we shot some ducks, and I shot a Nutria. We'll look at a picture of that here in a second. So I mean, I think I kind of proved myself.
Okay.
Like, hey man, I can hold my own. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up? Kind of one of those things.
Was it a season for something?
Yeah, everything. It's the deer season like ours, and I'll tell you this: to deer hunt in Louisiana, to buy a deer license in Louisiana, and to hunt everything that we hunted, you still got to have your waterfowl, you still got to have all that good stuff. Is $356. So to hunt out of state,
Okay.
and it's the same way if someone hunts out of state and they hunt here. So you have to buy your hunt license. There you have to buy a big game tag if you're going to hunt deer. So it's $150 for your hunting license. So if you're just going to go there and shoot a Nutria, then you got to buy a hunting license and you're good to go.
Okay.
$150. Now if you're going to hunt big game, hogs or anything of the sort, deer or whatever,
Sure.
then you got to get what's called a big game tag. If you're going to bobcats or there's a lot of things that fall under that category. Which is another $150, and then you got to have your federal duck stamp, which I already had my federal duck stamp because that's pretty much federal.
So that's not just a Florida thing, obviously.
Right? That's a
Okay.
federal thing. So you're good there, but I had to buy the waterfowl and everything else that went with that from Louisiana. So we got the duck hunt, we got to hunt Nutria, we got to hunt deer. So we got to hunt everything while we were there. Now, we didn't harvest any deer. We didn't even see a deer. But, man, just what a time, dude. I mean, it was just, from the word go, I think here's a little quick clip, I think, of just us running out. Now, it's about 38, 39 degrees in the mornings. And I don't know if you can see that. Is that up and running?
It is, Rodney.
So we're in a cottonmouth. These guys are in a gator boat, what's called a gator track or something. And this is the bayou, man. I mean, that's pretty much everything you see. And there's Lisa ready for the duck hunting. She's just raring and ready to go. and I managed to harvest a green wing. And I'll tell you this, man. Let me show you this thing. This was the most beautiful green wing
beautiful.
I've ever shot in my life. I mean, I've shot a ton of ducks, and this thing was just perfectly molted. Everything was perfect about this duck. So he'll be in the taxidermist hopefully by Friday. I just keep forgetting to get him over there. He's actually over here by you. And then Mike, and then. Oh, so then we broke down.
This is kind of fun just scrolling through your pictures.
It is.
Because number one, they're going to be in chronological order. So
yeah, exactly. So here. This is just, you can see that there's no water on the banks, so the tide is going out, and our boat has an electronic switch for forward and reverse. The switch went out. The boat ran great, but the forward and reverse went out, so we had to be pulled out by the other boat, which was a long, just a trek out, and this is pretty much where we were. Yeah. I mean, if you look at that, we are just, that little dot.
Wow.
That you can see that little trail that goes through there is pretty much where we were at. And if you're asking the question, if you were stuck out there, could you walk out of there? And, brother, let me tell you what. You couldn't even walk to land. You saw how close land was.
Yeah.
You're not even walking to that. You're not getting out of your boat and walking to that land because it's just you'll sink up to your neck in all this good stuff. And this is it's the first time I actually hunted over a duck dog in all the years that I hunted ducks. And this is little Gus right here. Gus was just, man, he was just ready to hump you in a heartbeat. I mean, Gus didn't mess around. He fell in love with you fast. So here we go. Mike, have you ever seen one of these guys?
No, not till you, Rodney.
Okay, well, I've heard about them. There was a time, in the state of Florida, you can shoot Nutria all day long if you can find them. They're legal to kill. You don't need a hunting license and all that good stuff. This is a Nutria. This is an invasive species.
Nutria.
In Louisiana. They're from way down south. And this guy is just absolutely no jokeroni here. Let me...
How do you spell Nutria, Rodney?
Nutra. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I think it's N-U-T... It might be R-I-A, Nutria, or Nutra. I think it's N-U-T-R-A. Is it Nutria?
Yep, there's an I in there.
I don't know, let's see. Nutra. Yeah, it is the I. It's a Nutria.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we pulled up to the dock, we pulled up to Robert's dock, and Robert thought he saw, I'm going to show you a little short video here in a second, but Robert saw what he thought was an armadillo. He goes, was that an armadillo that just ran under there? Oh, as a matter of fact, I have just a quick clip of what his dock looks like as we pulled up to it.
Now, is this where you stayed?
No, this is not where we stayed.
This is not where you stayed. Okay.
No, this is not where we stayed. We stayed at a different place, of which I don't have a picture for. So let me see here. Here we go. So I'll show you. Wham. Okay, this has got to be it right here. Okay, so here, if you go to that, this is Robert's camp out in the middle of nowhere. Now, those little S signs are how many hurricanes his little camp has been through.
Wow.
So you can see that right there. Here's another hurricane, another hurricane, another hurricane.
Wow.
So we thought, and of course I let it record for another 15 minutes thinking I just put it in my pocket.
Oh,
Actually, I let it record for an hour. I had to cut it down because it was just black in my pocket. So he thought he saw an armadillo. And he goes, man, is that an armadillo that just ran under my dock? And I didn't care about an armadillo. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not in the bayou for armadillos.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be the biggest armadillo on the planet. I'm okay. Well, as we're leaving, Lisa was like, in her mind, she was like, I want to see this armadillo. If it's an armadillo, I want to see it. So she peeks under the dock, and she goes, that's not an armadillo. And as soon as she said that, in my head, I was like, oh, that's a Nutria. That's a Nutria. So I need this Nutria. So I was like, we didn't bring a gun. So I look at Robert, and I said, hey,
Oh, interesting.
I need a spear. I need to kill a Nutria while I'm in Louisiana. This is good. This is the right, if you're hunting in South Louisiana, Nutria is just the thing you have to have.
Yeah, this is good.
This is it. This is
good.
So I'm like, oh, this thing, I need a spear. And Robert's laughing. I was like, I need a spear, a stick, a bludgeon, tool. I need something. Give me a rock. He goes, well, I do got my son's pellet gun up in there. And I'm going, oh, man, go get it. So here's about a 1.5-minute video, and I will fast forward to about the inappropriate part. I think I can catch it. So you ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
What does that do, Rodney? We're going to pop a Nutria.
I thought you said you're going to pop it in neutral.
I was like, we're going to pop a Nutria. And that's Lisa's favorite. She laughed so hard. So you see me drop the first pellet. Now, this is a 177 caliber, one-pump air rifle. What up, Brent? How are you? Brian? Nutria, yeah. Body said it's Nutria. So here, this is it right here. I'll be quiet. Oh, I fast forwarded past that. So as I go through here, I had to put a couple more in it. Hold on, this ain't the. Oh, that's the long one, the long version. And then here we go. So let me fast forward here to where I pull it out. So we whip, and here's where I pull it out. Look at this.
That's lovely.
That is absolutely crazy. I mean, this thing was just sick. So I kept the skull, and I'm going to do a skull mount for it, a European mount. And the teeth on this thing are just absolutely crazy. So it's going to be an absolute cool skull mount, man.
Wow.
It's just absolutely crazy.
Wow.
So everybody's asking, one of the things, well, Rodney, did you eat it? So here's just a little clip of me skinning it. We won't stay on this too long. So yes, we did eat it. There's me doing that.
Now my question was this: so you've never shot a Nutria?
Never shot a Nutria.
So you've never skinned one, but you just did it.
I just did it. And this, our buddy Dustin down there, he saw me skinning this thing. And once I got in my groove, he was like, "Dang it, man, you know your way around a knife, don't you?" And man, I was skinning the Nutria. It's just another animal. And apparently there's musk glands on this thing, so you can't hit these musk glands. So I avoided everything that would possibly look like a musk gland.
Which I would have thought would have been the whole animal.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the whole animal. So normally around the back of their necks, he had one around the back of his neck.
And you avoid them because it messes up the meat?
Yeah, so that musk gets
and
into the meat, and you just don't want to do that. So he had one right in the center of his back. Okay. Had the weirdest musk gland that I've ever seen. So I was able to avoid that. And it was red meat, man. And I'll tell you this, Mike. It was absolutely the most delicious wild game.
It's bizarre.
That I ever went from, table from cleaning table to table fare.
Yeah.
No wild game taste whatsoever. It was just absolutely amazing. And then here's just me just cutting the meat up, and we're all down there just having fun. There's old Robert on the left there. So, and then here, basically, I just kind of did a quick fry on it. I pounded it out, floured it, did a quick fry. And then here, I think we kind of got, here's me tasting it for the first time. So I'm going to try Nutria for the first time. Can you jump around like a mullet? That's Martin on the left there. And then this is what you and I talked about that time. You go right from shooting it to killing it, and then. There's Derek and Dustin. They're giving it a shot and loving it. I mean, we ate this stuff up, and there's a little Dylan in the background. I mean, Dylan ate. That's Dylan on the right. He just ate it up, man. He was just piling that Nutria down like it was. So basically, I just pounded it. You see here, floured it, dropped, and I made a gravy for it. I made a gravy for it.
Nutria gravy.
A Nutria gravy, and then man, yeah, it was absolutely delicious. As a matter of fact, like I said, I want to go back and kill 20 or 30 of them and grind it into hamburger. I really do. So is this, oh, man. Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I would love to harvest about 20 or 30 of these guys.
Wow.
And just make meatballs. And
so you ran across that one underneath the dock.
So he was.
Where would they normally be?
But in that area, just like that. And just running the banks. I think in the wintertime, they're not out as much as they are in the summertime. They are kind of elusive. They burrow in the ground, and I think he was just bebopping around, and he ran under that dock to kind of get away from us, much to his demise.
Do they swim? I mean,
they do swim. They got webbed feet, man.
Do they?
These things got webbed feet, and that's when the first time I shot him, it dropped him, but he got up. I had to shoot him 2 or 3 times to get him to stop.
Is it so? It's part of the rat family.
Yeah, it is called a Nutria rat.
Okay.
And I mean, as you can see, it looks like a giant rat. You've never seen. It's got a rat tail, a rat face, rat. It's everything's rat about it. But I don't know what a rat tastes like. But if a rat is this daggone good, I might go rat hunting. I don't even know. I could be just, let's see here. We're going to need a bigger, yeah, Lisa says, we're going to need a bigger freezer. Because that's the first thing she asked me. Is that thing in the freezer? Oh, no, baby. What? No, stop. Oh, I would never.
No, don't open that bag.
Stay. She goes, is it by the,
Christmas.
because we ate bison meat. She made bison meatballs
Ooh,
tonight.
yeah.
She's
Ooh.
like, is it it's not by the bison, is it? Oh, no.
Oof.
Gosh, no. I would never eat, never.
Dare you to tell them apart.
So, it was just absolutely. So, Brent says groundhogs are really good. It kind of reminds me of. I've seen groundhogs. It reminds me of a big groundhog or a smaller groundhog.
Minus the tail, it looked like.
Minus the tail.
I thought it was a beaver.
Yeah. A lot of people do. They go, "Oh man, you shot a beaver." Oh, I can't believe you shot a beaver. I'd shoot a beaver too. I'd get a beaver pelt, man. Those things are soft. These aren't as soft as beavers.
Yeah, he didn't look very snuggly.
No, he's not very snuggly.
Wow.
Beavers have that fine. Oh, that beaver, it's just, man, you get a beaver, you just want to pet it. You know what I mean? It's just very soft.
Wow.
So it was absolutely a treat. I mean, these guys definitely pulled one out on the bucket list for me. I can't think. The hospitality was amazing. They didn't have to be as accommodating as they were, and it was just like we were family, man.
That's cool.
And it's just when you're in those situations and you're in someone else's, you want to make yourself as readily available as possible.
Of course.
You want to be a helping hand. And there's nothing more. I mean, we met these guys for the first time. Do you need a hunting license for Nutria? Yes, you do. You have to have a hunting license for Nutria.
Your basic license.
Your basic license.
There's not a Nutria
Yeah,
season.
there's not a Nutria season. So once you have your hunting license, you can hunt them all day long. You can just that was Matt's question. Good question, Matt.
It is a good question. Is there anything to add to the same thought? Is there anything that you don't need a hunting license for?
No, you got to, in Louisiana, being out of state, you have to have a hunting license for everything.
What about Florida?
Florida, you don't have to have a hunting license to hunt wild hog, especially if it's on your property. You don't have to have it on a management area. All you have to have is a management area stamp saying that you can be on the property. You have to pay your daily fees. But you do not need a hunting license to hunt a hog if that's what you're, in fact, only thing you're hunting
Okay.
is a hog.
What about squirrel?
A squirrel, you do. That's called small game. So you got to have a hunting license. $17.50 in the state of Florida.
Okay, so that's
$150 in the state of Louisiana. You do need a hunting license for Nutria. And as a matter of fact, Matt, if you have a commercial license, you can actually sell the Nutria. You can sell them. They're $5 a pop. And there's guys there that just ride around on airboats just shooting Nutria all day. You shoot 100 Nutria, that's $500 in a day. How kind of fun is that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I spit everywhere.
Yeah, I'm glad I wore my glasses. I wore my safety goggles.
You're in the splash zone. So what I meant to say was
much better
without the slobber. It's what up, Scott? How you doing, my man? So I mean, I just see it. It's man, the meat was delicious. I cannot get over how good it was.
Wow.
Rabbit, game taste. And I love rabbit.
Yeah.
A squirrel, super gamey. Deer, game taste. Unless you age it. If you age deer 15 to 30 days in a cooler, it takes a lot of the game, the gamey taste away. This is like beef. If by the time you eat a hamburger, it's been aged for 45 to 80 days.
Sure.
So
and you ate this that night, right?
I ate it right off the cooler.
Yeah.
I mean, I skinned it, put it in a baggie, went straight to the table, pounded it out, and we ate it right there. And no game taste whatsoever. So I was really, really surprised of just how good this was. So definitely, if I go back, I still have my hunting license, so I'm good for a year. So when we go back, I will be shooting. Now, I'm going to take my 22, and I'm going to shoot every Nutria that I could possibly. These coon asses are going to be like, come on, man, we got alligator, we got crawfish, and you shooting these big old rats. What are you doing, man? So so I'm going to shoot these things. The daily fee, the daily fee to hunt. You can buy, and it's the same way in Louisiana. You can buy a daily hunting license.
Really?
Yeah, you can hunt for a day. It's like $38. If you hunt 5 days, and obviously you're at the hunting license fee. So you can buy a daily hunting license. You can buy a daily big game tag as well. So you can do that. I think the fee in Florida for daily hunting license for out of state is around that $30 to $40 range as well.
Interesting.
So don't quote me on that. You can go to my FWC and they'll definitely give that to you. So we were invited back, and I know that some guys just don't get invited back to the fish camp out there in the bayou. So you really gotta be
Some guys never come back from the bayou.
some guys never come back from the bayou. So Lisa was like, how many times I'm gonna hear you talk Cajun while we're by the end? I think I was Cajun. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite
I hope you never stop.
accents, because I used to watch Justin Wilson, the Cajun chef.
Yeah,
He like a little sherry for what it is and a little sherry for me. You know what? And he'd always tell a Cajun joke. So we told stories that how it is when we went to Arkansas with Joe Wilson. Once you get into those hunting stories. And this is the same way. Even Lisa had stories. She was telling them stories that Martin just laughed. Martin is that old timer. Now he's my age. Martin's matter of fact, it was Martin's 51st birthday. Happy birthday, Martin! While we were up there, and we were blessed enough, and he had a grandchild on that day. So he left for a little while to be with his grandkid, his newborn grandkid. So it was, what a blessing to be up there on that special day with him and enjoy it with him. And with these people, I mean, they literally accepted us like we were. I felt like we'd known these guys for years. I really did. And Lisa, she was the only girl on the boat. So it's that thing of how comfortable are are you going to meet new guys with your girl? You're in the middle of the bayou. Yeah. But I mean, these guys were absolutely gentlemen. It was
that's great.
Phenomenal trip. I mean, how can you can't put a price on that. You can't buy that.
No.
There's no money in the world.
No.
That buys this kind of friendship and hospitality and to be invited back and say, hey man, just come back. We're going to be doing crawfish in April. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. And then come back in October, we're going to be doing alligators. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, that's the kind of, you just kind of want to hold your own. So, I think I made a mark on the fellas.
Good.
I went in there and shot some ducks and killed some Nutria. And
killed their pet Nutria? That probably didn't go so well.
That was Harry, Nathan the Nutria. So, why do we not have Nutria in Florida? We actually do have Nutria in Florida, and they are legal to kill at any time. So
how far down do they come?
They're in, they've seen them in South Florida,
Really?
Yeah. So there's a few areas they've seen them in.
Because they're not from Louisiana, right?
They're not from Louisiana. They're from South America, and they come in on barges. We got these barges. It's not an abundance like there is in Louisiana.
Okay.
I mean, Louisiana is loaded. Louisiana's got the Nutria, not quite like we got iguanas, but they got a lot of them. And if you look in the Florida hunting book, Nutria is legal to kill year-round. So we've got them. They're few and far between. I thought I've seen one before. I ain't never seen no Nutria.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These things ain't no joke.
Yeah.
You've seen a Nutria one time, you absolutely know you saw a Nutria.
It's a big rat.
It is a giant rat. I mean, it's bigger than giant.
Wow.
And you want this thing. You want to shoot a Nutria. I mean, you've seen the teeth on it. How awesome is that? Yes. I'm going to put that skull mount on my desk at work. I don't know if I'm going to get fired. I don't know what's going to go down. I'm going to put that on my desk and say, that right there is a Nutria.
That's cool.
So, yeah, this is just absolutely awesome. So, is it illegal to have one for a pet? I don't know. I don't... Probably not. I mean, we've had some weird. Everybody's got weird stuff for pets. I know for certain things you have to have Class A, Class B licenses and stuff like that. So, I would think it'd be a good pet, man. I mean, it eats roots. It just eats roots. I mean, this is all it eats. I mean, it's not like it eats other varmints. It looks like it could if it wanted to.
But a good pet in what sense?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be it'd be like a big fluffy beaver dog rat thing, a beaver dog rat, a braver rat. I don't even know what to say here.
Oh, you need
They have signs at the ramps. If you see one called Department of Natural Resources, yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah. Michael was saying that. Yeah, they got and if you look in the Florida hunting book, I mean, it says right in there, Nutria, and I've seen it in the books for years since I can remember. And I was like, yeah, I want to shoot a Nutria, And then I've seen tons of videos, from Louisiana, Nutria, these guys just shooting them. And I thought, hey, yeah, man, that's really cool. I'd love to shoot one. I didn't want to shoot one as bad as I did when Lisa said, that's not an armadillo. And I realized it was a Nutria.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, this Nutria is coming in the boat. He don't know it. He's coming in dead or alive, but he's coming in. That Nutria was coming down.
Well, you need to write one of your Rodney songs, Papa Nutria. Right?
Yes, one of our songs.
I think that was originally going to be Alan Jackson's song, but he turned it to Papa Top.
Yeah,
It was
Papa Top again.
it was
Yeah,
Papa Nutria.
Papa Nutria again. Yeah,
figure
so we
that out.
need. I'll play with that. I'll play with because Lisa goes, "What you gonna do, Rodney?" We call Papa Nutria. And you can hear her giggle on that thing, man. She must have replayed that 10,000 times. It's absolutely priceless. So So she's already ascertained that we're going to need a bigger freezer. And there's just no stopping us now. I mean, you know what? And I can tell you this. She was so focused. They don't have rabies. No, they don't have rabies.
Oh, good. Yeah,
She was so focused on deer hunting. I mean, she was just staring at one section. At one time, I thought this lady's going to pass out. She stands there any longer. I'm like, you're going to need to sit down because
she was determined.
She was determined, man. If there was an animal out there, she was on that thing like crazy. She was on it. And the water was low, as low as been as years. So deer kind of spread out when the water's that low. Obviously, when the water table's high, it kind of conglomerates them a little more. So when it's that low, they have other places to go that they couldn't go before.
Yeah.
So it kind of pulls them away from you. So I mean, it was just a bad time. And if deer hunting was easy,
Yeah.
who would enjoy it? So, but she
Not the deer.
She understood, and I think she has the fever, man. And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, everything she did down there was for the first time, and pretty much down there for me it was the first time. And it was to be able to experience with her was just absolutely is why.
That's great. Yeah.
Is why I do this.
Yeah.
Because she is like a sponge. I'm telling you, man. When it comes down to the hunting, the fishing, the turkey hunting, we got because her first thought was, well, if we're not going to duck hunt again this season, what's next? What do we got coming next? And I'm like, baby, it's turkey season's coming back, so she's a little excited.
Yeah.
Because March we're going to be back in turkey season. So she's excited for that again. So this is the cycle.
It is the cycle. Yeah.
The hunting cycle. We've got turkey season coming up, which is an exciting time for us. I know, her and I had a blast last year listening to turkeys gobble, and it was just absolutely exciting. It was just, pumped up all we can be to turkey hunt. So I know she's excited for that. Before you go, Rod, what's the best lure right now in this crazy weather? Man, I'll tell you, that's Hector. Hector says he's going to give up fishing. I'll tell you, the key is it's not necessarily it's trying to find what the patterns are. Soft plastics, low down in the bait, and fish them slow. That's one of the there's two things that I would do right now. One is rattle trap would be one of them. I would definitely put on a red eye shad and just really piss off some fish. That's key for this time of year. They're lethargic. They're cold. They can be very aggressive if you make them mad enough.
Okay.
So a red eye shad right now to me would be one of the lures that I dump in and let it sink and then just pull it along those banks. And then I would just slow fish a soft bait. Remember, strike zones on these things this time of year, even though the air temperature is 70 degrees today, the water temperature is still 55 degrees. We haven't warmed it up any. It's going to take a few days of that to warm it up because our water temperature is running about 58, 59 degrees, which has these fish slow down. The strike zones, remember, it's just, we shrunk them up.
Right.
The same way when they're miserably hot, we shrink up those strike zones. Keep it in that zone longer. Make 35 casts. As Florida fishermen, we have a bad habit of fishing with a frog or something, just casting one after another, just trying to that speed cast. It's hard for us to slow down. So in these cases, we got to slow down. We got to stay in that strike zone as long as we can. So don't be afraid to use a fluke or even, flip jig and just flip it to the same stump 13 times. Flip it there 14 times. Just when you think, let me give it one more flip, hit it again, and then move on to your next spot. Unfortunately, you don't get to fish the whole lake today. Fortunately, you may only fish 30 feet in order to be successful in that 30 feet. It's not that the fish ain't there. They've just pulled back a little bit. Just water temperature. We've had that abnormally cold days for a few days. Even though the air temperature was 35 degrees, the water temperature still 60, 65 degrees, and then it took a few days for that to kick in. So we often think air temperature is affecting bass. The barometric pressure affects the bass. The air temperature affects the water over a duration of time. Don't forget that. Buy a laser thermometer, hit that water, hit that surface temperature, and find out what it is. That'll dictate what bait you're using and how you're going to fish it. 65 degrees, then slow down. Keep it in the grass a little bit longer. You're not seeing those fish because they're going to pull up to the things that get warmer first. If there's a stump in the water, fish that stump because it's going to pick up the heat first. And, and basically that stump will heat up and then just put a little bit of heat to a fish. 1 degree is a whole lot. You know what I mean? So just get near that stump and just beat that stump to death. And trust me, you're going to pull something out on that. 66 degrees, I read it with a deeper sonar. Okay, so 66 degrees, that temperature. 66 degrees, we should have spawning fish, actually. So something should be out there biting. Somebody out there is catching fish.
Wow.
If everything else is not working, slow down. Really slow. And I know, you go, man, I'm fishing slow. No. Count. If you want to see if you're fishing slow, throw that lure out there, count to 5 before you even move it. When you move it, count to 5 again. When you move it, count to 5 again. Should take you about 35 to 40 seconds to reel in one lure this time of year, if you want to be successful. And believe me, 30 seconds in the water for a lure is a long, long time. But you got to slow it down. You know what I mean? Wow. I know one of the coldest days I fished, water temperature was 48 degrees, ice cold in Harris Chain when it was sleeting on my front of my boat. JJ was supposed to fish with me that day, and he bailed out, and I should have too. But, I kept fishing my normal thing, and then I just backed off. Once I saw that the water temperature was 48 degrees, the warmest spot I could find in this lake was 51 degrees. That's the year that all the snook died and just this big fish kill. I started catching fish when I started slowing down. That memory just popped up on my Facebook feed, January the 6th, 2011.
Wow.
And it popped up in my feed, and I remember I was reading it. 3 fish in, I'm having to slow down, and 2 keepers, so 30 boats. I placed 9th. For me, Florida boy who's fishing in 50-degree water, that's a big deal. It really was. For me, it was just a matter of I want to catch a fish. Out of the 30 boats that was in that tournament, 20 didn't even weigh in. They didn't even catch a fish. So just to have a fish was a pretty big deal.
Wow.
But it's just slowing down. It really is. And Hector, you got that new reel, that 8-to-5 reel, which I want, by the way, that new, the new Cordero Shimano, and it's just a phenomenal reel. I bought the original one back in the 90s, and I'm talking 91. I still have it, and it was just a phenomenal reel then. Now, it was like a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning every crank, you reeled in is 4 inches of movement. Now it's 8-to-1. So,
wow.
The gear boxes are different. Everything's different. Reels have come a long way. And, of course, in the coming weeks, we'll be getting back into fishing and done talking about our adventures. But, you can only get that kind of speed in a spin reel, spin cast, an open face reel, if you will. those kind of speeds only come in those reels. But when you get into bait casters, now they got these gear reduction units, these big gearboxes on the side of them, so you can get faster speeds. Now, what you are fishing slow, you think you're fishing slow, honestly, put on an old reel. Get to that 5-to-1 ratio instead of the 8-to-5 ratio, and slow down. You're fishing with a faster reel, and you think you're fishing slower in your mind, but that reel's pulling that lure 3 times faster than you normally do. So, just kind of reverse psychology. Remember, those reels are great, but they're not great year round. There's some things there. He said, "Thank you, sir. I will try that before I retire." He's having a hard time catching fish. By this time last year, I think I had 20 or 30 fishing, but we didn't have this cold snap like we have. Yeah. So maybe I'll get out this weekend and try a few tactics and let you know what's working for me.
Wow.
So maybe we'll do that this weekend. Marie, how are you? Marie said, "Hi, Mike." And it's that time again, Mike. We're already 9 o'clock.
That's
Quarters
amazing.
up.
Well, you've come out of your shell, so I think once you actually start figuring out what you're actually talking about and and what you're doing, you're gonna do something.
I bet we're gonna beat somebody one day, won't we, Mike? So
very, very impressive, Rodney.
That's our lesson for the day.
Good, solid tidbits.
And man, what a trip! Thank you, Lisa, for hanging out with me and being the person that you are and doing what you do. She's just, with somebody like that in your life, it's exciting. I mean, it really is.
It should be.
I'm refreshed.
Good.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Just
I
totally
can tell.
refreshed, and she does it to me. So, Mike, you didn't get to talk much.
I'm all ears tonight.
How's your week, Mike?
I missed you. That's how my week was.
Right on,
Rodney.
man. I missed you too, brother.
It was kind of cool to be able to flip through your photo album and just kind of. Yeah, I think it was a great way to
breeze
do it.
through there. Well, cool, man.
No, it's slow down, people, when you're fishing. That's what I wanted to say, is just to make sure everybody knew to.
Tommy, have a great night.
Slow it down.
Yeah, just slow down. Slow it down.
Problem.
Jeez. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for our 1 hour vacation, man. And my mom's sick in the hospital, so she's getting out of it. She had the pneumonia. When you get up there in age, you kind of, so she should be coming home any day. Mom, I hope you're feeling better. And as she said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much because you know how much I love my mama.
You do.
You kids get outside and stay.